13-4 is no longer a crazy prediction. The Detroit Lions are being projected to tear through the NFC North like a storm nobody can stop. But with a vulnerable defense and brutal matchups ahead, can this Super Bowl dream survive the pressure?
We are 35 days away from the NFL regular season kicking off. The Lions are the NFC North favorites with plus 170 odds at DraftKings, followed by the Packers and the Chicago Bears. Last season, all four teams in the division finished with a winning record, becoming the second division since 1970 to have all its teams finish above 500. We thought it would be fun to have the doggy himself, Mad Dog Russo, revive a long-standing tradition from his radio show and pick the wins and losses on the schedule, this time for the Detroit Lions. This year, Doggy,
I don't want to hear from you, because last year you killed me on the Chiefs, and I got that right.
You know what? I started just thinking about that. I was like, dog, I was getting on you last year, too.
I got the Chiefs right.
I know you did.
All right, the Lions, by the way, Gerald, they're 10.5 over-under in Vegas. So if you go bet the Lions for the over wins, you got to get 11 to win the bet, which is a lot of wins. But remember, they have the fourth-place schedule in this division. Now, they play those three teams twice, 6 games. But take a look at this schedule. All right, they get Buffalo out of the way early on the road. That's the first game in Buffalo. But they play the NFC South and the AFC East. But then they got these other games with the fourth-place schedule. So they get the Titans. Minnesota has Indianapolis. They have the third-place schedule. That's an advantage. They get the Giants. They don't play Dallas, so that's an advantage. That's number 2. Over here, they got the Jets at home. That's an advantage. And they also have to play Miami. So they play the Jets, Miami, the Giants, and Tennessee. You figure they can win all 4 of those games. They go 3-3 in their division, which is fair. That's 7. Before you even blink, you're at 7 wins. That's one reason why I like the Lions. Number 2, so that's significant. The other thing to look at, and they got the Cardinals in here too. Don't forget they got a last place team with Arizona because they don't play San Francisco, Seattle, or the Rams. So that could be 8 wins. You only need 3 more. Remember about the Lions. They don't play Dallas. They don't play Philadelphia. They don't play the Seahawks. They don't play the Rams. And they don't play San Francisco.
Hey, excuse me. Are you going to make a pick?
Yes.
How are you?
5 straight. The best teams in the NFC. They don't have anything to do with. It's a big advantage. I'll go over. Points. I'll take the Lions.
Lions?
What's they're going to go game by game. They want me to go game by game.
That's what we're asking.
All right, I'm sorry. They're going to be 4-1 by the bye. I'll give them a loss in Buffalo. Saints, Jets, at Panthers, at Cardinals. Right. You could go 3-2 or go 4-1. All right? They got the 2 games at home against Green Bay and Minnesota. That's 6-1. At Miami, you want to give them a loss because they're due to have one, 6-2. Patriots at home, 7-2. Bucks, home, 8-2. Bears on Thanksgiving, 9-2. At Atlanta, Tennessee.
You are. I think I'm bugged out.
You are 13-4.
Wait a second.
Lions football in 2020.
Go ahead, y'all. Pick him up,
Dog. So check this out. These two, you're going to say they're going to win both of these games, and then all of a sudden you're just going to throw in a gratuitous loss at the Dolphins.
Well, they're going to go 2 out of 3. Right. They got both games at home, though, which is a big advantage.
Are you factoring in anything about the line? I mean, about the Lions as far as their roster, defensively, some of the issues they're having in the secondary.
I like the coach.
Availability.
Coach
they'll lose to the Packers or the Vikings before they lose to the Dolphins.
Packers? Okay, fine. Well, then switch it then.
All right, well, Jimmy, you're the one that had the loss.
Switch the damn.
Switch this, please. Can we switch this?
Is that the Buccaneers?
Yeah, can we switch this, please?
Is that an emotional pick on your part?
Of course it is.
Come on, man.
Of course it is.
Don't be emotional during the regular season.
Oh, but this is the L. Yeah, switch that. Come on, man. I can't let this slide.
Notwithstanding, Tampa, you like them at home.
Okay.
That's 10. And then somewhere else, Bears at home at Atlanta. So take the over at 10. Will they win 11 games, Lewis? With that schedule,
I'll buy 11.
I don't know. You know what? I'm concerned about the roster on defense in the secondary. They have got some issues. They have got health issues in the back end with both of their Brian Branch, Kirby Jones. I mean, both of these guys are hurt.
I get it.
Yeah. And that worries me, especially in a division that has some serious firepower on the offensive side of the football. If Kyler Murray is hitting, Look, we're already talking about we're in November before they even play them. That group of 3 wide receivers that they got is as good as any in the league. If the Packers, if their wide receivers stay healthy, we already know.
Okay.
Jordan Love is an MVP candidate.
Go ahead, Gerald.
And we've seen.
He likes the 11. He likes the 10.
But we've seen what can happen when you have an explosive offense and you can't stop nobody. The Cowboys just went through it. They had a top 3 offense. They couldn't stop nobody. And when you can't stop nobody, your record can be what the Cowboys was. So it's a tough
secondary help.
Let me transition to this next subject. Toughest division in the NFC. Which division is that, guys? Riddick, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I like the North. I like the NFC North, what we're talking about right here, because I think all these teams have, look, as long as Kyler becomes the player for them that they think he can be, they have really good quarterback play. They have a lot of firepower on offense. Now we're talking about the health of Micah Parsons, defensively Green Bay, the health of Detroit's secondary. Can Chicago create turnovers like they did a year ago?
No.
Minnesota is going to blitz your brains out, so you know they're going to play high octane defense. There's a lot of parity in that division. I think any of those teams can win it. That's why I think it's the most competitive.
Doggy.
13-4 is no longer a crazy prediction. The Detroit Lions are entering the 2026 season with a level of expectation this franchise has never experienced before. They are not chasing respect anymore. They are the team everyone wants to knock down. With just 35 days left before the NFL regular season begins, Detroit has become the favorite to win the NFC North. According to DraftKings, the Lions currently sit at plus 170 odds, ahead of the Green Bay Packers and Chicago Bears. But the biggest reason this prediction is creating so much attention is because the NFC North has become a battlefield. Last season, all 4 teams finished with winning records, becoming only the second division since the 1970 merger to achieve that milestone. This is no longer the old NFC North where one team dominates and everyone else fights for second place. Detroit, Green Bay, Chicago, and Minnesota are all entering the season believing they can compete. And that creates the biggest question surrounding the Lions. Can they handle the pressure of being the favorite? Because expectations can build a championship team, but they can also expose every weakness. And while the hype around Detroit continues to grow, one analyst has taken the prediction even further, creating a massive debate across the NFL. Mad Dog Russo brought back his famous tradition of predicting every game on the schedule, and his prediction for Detroit was not cautious. He believes the Lions can finish the season with a stunning 13-4 record. Vegas has already set Detroit's win total at 10.5 games, meaning bettors need at least 11 wins to cash the over. That is already a high standard. But Russo believes the schedule gives Detroit a realistic path to exceed expectations. The Lions still have to play 6 division games against Green Bay, Minnesota, and Chicago. But outside of those matchups, Detroit avoids several of the NFC's strongest teams. They will not face the Cowboys, Eagles, Seahawks, Rams, or 49ers during the regular season. Instead, Detroit gets games against teams like Tennessee, the New York Giants, the New York Jets at home, Miami, and Arizona. The argument is simple. If Detroit defeats the teams they are expected to beat and split their division matchups, the Lions could already put themselves in position for a double-digit win season. That is why Russo believes 13 wins are possible. But this prediction also creates another question. Is Detroit truly that dominant? Or is the schedule making them look better than they really are? Because when the schedule looks favorable, the next question becomes whether the roster is strong enough to take advantage of it. There is no question about Detroit's identity on offense. Under Dan Campbell, the Lions have built one of the NFL's most physical and aggressive offenses. Jared Goff has proven he can lead this team. Amon-Ra St. Brown remains one of the most reliable weapons in football. And Detroit's offensive philosophy is built around toughness, controlling the line of scrimmage, and wearing opponents down over 4 quarters. That style has made the Lions one of the most respected teams in the league. This is why many people believe Detroit can reach 11, 12, or even 13 wins. They have the quarterback. They have the offensive weapons. They have the coaching identity.
But championships are not won with offense alone. And Detroit's biggest danger is hiding on the other side of the ball. Because for Detroit to turn a great offense into a Super Bowl contender, the defense must answer the biggest challenge of the season. The biggest concern for Detroit is simple. Can the defense make enough stops? The Lions have dealt with injury concerns in the secondary, including players like Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph facing health issues. And that problem becomes even bigger because the NFC North is filled with dangerous offenses. Green Bay has Jordan Love, a quarterback who has shown flashes of MVP-level play. Minnesota remains one of the league's most aggressive defenses under Brian Flores. Chicago is building around a defense that created turnovers and could become a nightmare matchup. Even Arizona presents problems because Kyler Murray and his talented receivers can attack any defensive weakness. The NFL has already shown that elite offense alone is not enough. The Dallas Cowboys proved that. They produced one of the league's strongest offenses, but struggled because their defense could not consistently stop opponents when it mattered most. That is the nightmare scenario for Detroit. A team capable of scoring 30 points, but unable to protect a lead in January. And that leads to the biggest battle in the NFL this season. Not just winning the NFC North, but surviving it. The Detroit Lions have the talent to make the 13-4 prediction become reality. Their schedule gives them opportunity. Their offense gives them confidence. Their coaching gives them an identity. But the NFC North may be the toughest division in football. Every team has a weapon. Every team believes they belong in the playoff race. Detroit enters as the favorite, but favorites do not win championships because of predictions. They win because they survive pressure. If the Lions stay healthy, protect Jared Goff, and improve defensively, a 13-4 season is not impossible. But if their secondary collapses and their defense cannot make critical stops, the same expectations creating Super Bowl dreams could become the reason their season falls apart. The storm is coming to the NFC North, and the Detroit Lions are standing right in the middle of it. The question is no longer whether Detroit is good enough to win. The question is whether they are strong enough to survive. Because in the NFC North, one weakness can destroy everything.
Yo, mic check 1 to 2, -1, -2. Game over for this video, folks. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to stay in the huddle for more. This is NFL Madness, bringing the heat and signing out.